Wow. I didn't know I got to dance tonight, too. This is great. Thank you very, very much, Matt. Elevate, what a great, great event, and our investors, and more importantly, our team at Novilytic that makes this all possible. I'm going to talk real quick about life sciences. Indiana is a great big home of life sciences and analytical chemistry. Every time you hear an ambulance, 90% of that technology that's saving somebody's life comes from the state of Indiana. Think about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about a company that's trying to do that, my company, Novilytic, and my name is Paul Dreier. I'm the CEO of Novilytic. So, I've mentioned the fact that Novilytic, is a home, but one of the reasons it's the home is because of analytical chemistry. We have 3 of the top 5 universities in the world for analytical chemistry, 5 of the top 20 scientists. One of them is the founder of our company. And the reason we do this is spoken because of that little girl that you're looking up there. Or maybe looking at her father that just had a heart attack, or her mother that had an epileptic seizure that was being misdiagnosed because of some other reason. It's the analytics that make a difference. And our company is a bioanalytics company that uses nanotechnology to be able to diagnose and make better pharmaceuticals. Take a look at this Bayer fermenter. All the drugs that are biodrugs are made in a fermenter, believe it or not, kind of like that Bayer fermenter that we're showing there. Our technology, which is pretty cool, it looks like, I hate this, but it looks like a great big vaping cigarette. That's a nanotechnology device that's worth $4,000. And it fits plug and play into a device called a liquid chromatography instrument. There are 250,000 out there waiting for this device, and they would use one a month. It creates a $4 billion opportunity right here in the state of Indiana, and that's what our company does. Why is it kind of simple and interesting? Nanotechnology is pretty complex, right? Well, it really isn't. Think about the canary that was in the coal mine smelling, smelling for poisons. Well, our technology smells poisons in the fermenter, so we're the canary in the fermenter. And it's a great big market, and the reason it's needed is that right now the technologies that's being used to do what we can do in 10 minutes takes 24 hours, and it was invented 50 years ago. We're launching, we have great big patents on that to protect it, and we have our first orders pending because we launched 3 weeks ago. We already have orders pending. And our big customers are major pharma, and and we're gaining other traction. We've been nominated for the Mira Innovation of the Year Award. Hope we win it. That would be very exciting after a lot of years. But you can see here in this picture, we can't show everything that the interest is in it. Probably the most telling was that me, a guy that is working for a little 10-person Indiana company tied to life sciences, was asked to be on a podium for 3 hours with the senior VPs of R&D for Lilly, Pfizer, Merck, and a number of other major pharma companies. So we're in the news, thanks to the Inside Indiana Business and the IBJ. We're just exploding, and we'd love to have you come along. The big ask is, if you are interested, we always love investors to come along. But more importantly, if you're interested in a growing company and want to come and work with us and be involved with a company that has equity options and the opportunity to grow and do good in the world, that's our company. So welcome to Novilytic. There we go. Thank you.
Questions for Paul? I'll start. I don't mind starting. I am curious on use case. So I am not a life sciences biotech person. So I would love to just understand, how does a product like what you're building with Novilytic work in the biopharma industry, and what things does it replace?
Sure, great question. So those drugs are manufactured in fermenters, and you need to take a sample out and figure out whether or not you're making the good stuff or bad stuff. And that fermenter has $20 million of juice in it. And if you're making bad stuff, you want to know now. You don't want to wait 24 hours. Right now, they have to wait 24 hours. With our system, it's an automatic, tiny sample comes out, and 10 minutes later, they know if they're making good stuff or bad stuff. So there's an immediate savings. More importantly, when they're developing a drug, every day is worth $100,000. We save literally weeks of time every year for research in pharmaceuticals. So we have an immediate return. You know, $4,000 for a little tube seems like a lot. And they're going to use one a month, so that seems like a whole big bunch, $48,000 a year. But if you can save, you know, one batch at $20 million, we've pretty much paid for ourselves.
So I assume you're replacing something. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah. So who's a saboteur in this sales process? A lot of these large entrenched 50-year-old industries, they're 50-year-old for reasons. Who sits around and says this is not worth buying, but the way we do it is amazing already?
Well, they're going to be our customers and our partners, and they're the great big instrument companies that currently you have to take a sample out of that batch, do hours and hours of sample prep, and put it through an instrument that's run by people with master's and PhD degrees. So our device plugs and play into their instrument and allows it to be used immediately. And we are negotiating contracts with 3 out of the 5 majors right now, so they will sell our product for use with their instruments.
Also start by saying I'm not a life science expert as well, so sorry for another kind of clarification question as well. Thank you for your pitch. But on the manufacturing side, is there a potential kind of distributor sales model moving forward? And is there any kind of potential licensing on that where you can kind of just license the software out to kind of de-risk the company to a certain extent?
Yeah, it's a great question. So what we're trying to do to build value or create and ensure our future value, remember the people that could be poo-pooing our product now are going to be selling it. And what they would like to do is they would like to sell it as their brand name. So Thermo is a big, very popular, well-known life sciences company. They will sell the Thermo proteometer. Everybody's going to sell a proteometer, and so far the contracts look like they're going to work that way. So that's one level of distribution. There would be direct as a potential as we're waiting for those that get signed up. We have requests for quotes right now. But then overseas, the markets, 87% of our entire market will land in either in North America, the EU, or Japan. And so we're targeting on those markets. We'll probably have distribution in the EU and probably direct sales in Japan. I live there and I understand how to make sure that works very well. Yeah. Thanks.